I'm Kyle DeCoyan, co-director of Membership and National Outreach at PEN America. And I'm so grateful today to this morning's readers for lending their voices and time to this event. PEN America stands at the intersection of literature and advocacy to defend the right of free expression for all. This includes advocacy we undertake on behalf of writers and artists around the world who have been threatened or otherwise suppressed from creating and sharing their work. One of these writers is the Chinese poet Liu Xia. Liu Xia has been held virtually incommunicado under extra-legal house arrest since her husband Liu Xiaobo, who died last summer, won the Nobel Peace Prize in October 2010. During the course of her house arrest, she has been denied access to phone, internet, and mail, as well as necessary psychiatric treatment despite her deteriorating health and severe depression. She's been seen in public and on video only a handful of times, and in many instances widely believed to have been coerced by the Chinese government. Leaving the courthouse in 2013 after sham charges were brought against her brother, Liu Xia shouted to reporters, "I am not free. If they tell you I'm free, tell them I am not free." Thank you so much to today's readers who will be reading from Liu Xia's work, and thank you also to Grey Wolf for providing copies of Empty Chairs, a collection of her poems which we'll be distributing afterwards. In particular, I'd like to extend our appreciation to the translators Ming Di and Jennifer Stern for bringing the work into English. The poems extend the call for democratic human rights in China, but they also give us a window into Liu Xia's joy and sense of humor. She's someone who loves drinking, dancing, smoking, staying up late into the night talking to her friends and with her beloved. I'm going to read bios for each of the readers and ask that they share brief thoughts on why they feel it is important we continue to advocate for her freedom, and specifically for her freedom of expression. Our readers, in the order that they'll be presenting, are Nick Flynn, whose most recent book is My Feelings, out on Grey Wolf in 2015. In 2019, 2 new books will appear: Stay, published by Z Books, a collection of collaborations and writings, as well as I Will Destroy You, out on Grey Wolf. Mona Eltahawy is a feminist writer and public speaker. She's the author of Headscarves and Hymens, Why the Middle East Needs a Sexual Revolution, published by FSG. She lives in Cairo and New York City. After her will be Nuar Alsadir, a poet, essayist, and psychoanalyst. She's the author of the poetry collections Fourth Person Singular, published by Liverpool University Press, a finalist for the 2017 National Book Critics Circle Award for Poetry, and More Shadow Than Bird, published by Salt Publishing. Last, we'll have Jeremy Chang, a playwright, translator, and fiction writer. He's the author of State of Emergency and It Never Rains on National Day, shortlisted for the Singapore Literature Prize. He's also translated more than 10 books from the Chinese and is the recipient of a Penheim Translation Fund grant, as well as an NEA Literary Translation Fellowship. Thank you so much. Now for our readings.
Hi. Regarding the imprisonment of the house imprisonment of Liu Xia. It's, you know, here in the United States we have our own issues with mass incarceration, yet we haven't gotten to the point yet where we're imprisoning our poets, which is one bright spot, but I really hope this changes in China very soon. I'm going to read 2 poems by Liu Xia. Poison. Van Gogh's ear sends me an urgent message that the earth is about to collapse. Beware of the whitewashed night sky, the flowers in full bloom on the dining room table, the orderly lines of sentences in a book, the weather forecast on TV, and Kafka's crazy eyes. Guard the last ray of fire like farmers guarding the only sorghum left in a field after a natural disaster. I am the poison of this world. I can see a rotting corpse, the earth covered in snow, and I can see wriggling maggots. Do not try to fool me with purity. Do not hide death. Do not build an artificial paradise. The warm look from the eyes of a fake angel is worse than the glory of straw yellowing or a cigarette burning out. The next poem is Misplaced. Misplaced. Fragile and unprepared, I've been tossed into a play with no dress rehearsal. Betrayed by the shimmering lights, I see myself standing on the stage in an absurd posture. I see the full, sharp teeth gleaming. The character, assumed sad and weak, loses control. Her hungry veins burst into surging waves. So I become a red-eyed evil witch, and under watchful eyes, brew wine inside skulls. No costume or makeup can disguise me. When the show is over, I stay on stage with myself. One of me is tearful, the other laughing loudly. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am from Egypt and I grew up in Saudi Arabia, and I'm also a US citizen. And I'm here this morning because I have very good friends who are in prison in Egypt and in Saudi Arabia right now, and for demanding freedom of expression and fighting tyranny. And as a US citizen and a citizen of Egypt as well, I worry very much that the increasingly fascist Trump regime will push us to even worse conditions here in this country. So I'm here to speak for Liu Xia's freedom, but also to maintain freedom across the world and for the freedom of my friends in Egypt and Saudi Arabia. The first poem that I will read for you today is called Dazed. Our life, like the calendar on the wall, presents a stale picture. Friends come at night, and I cook enough dishes to cover the table, remembering to put salt in each. You get chatty without even drinking wine. Everyone is happy and eats chicken feet until the bones are sucked white. At dawn, our friends are suddenly gone like a breeze. The sunflowers on the window curtain are crazily bright against the light. Cigarette ashes and beautiful fish bones are jammed down our throats. Excuse me. Without looking at each other, we climb into bed. The next poem is called Snow, for Lin Hu's 44th birthday. It's your birthday today, little brother, the day of great snow on the lunar calendar. I open a bottle of wine and think about what gift I'd give you as a form of embrace. I set a glass out for you. Let's drink, the two of us, and chat. Once you gave me a photograph for my birthday. It's right here, a day we were both laughing. Without you, our home is distorted. Daily, father becomes quieter, mistakes your son for you. Mother cries her eyes dry. Now your son is off in a foreign land. Our big brother is busy. His feet hover above the floor. Your brother-in-law asks about you every month, and I dream of you all the time. In my dream, you quarrel with me. It must be hard to be my brother. Oops, there's more, sorry. I remember the summer of 1970. After the earthquake in Tangshan, we went to Changsha on a green train. When the train started, I was afraid to tell you how frightened I was to leave home for the first time. If possible, brother, trust me now unconditionally, like when you were a small child, that this will be over soon. Our train will reach the final station. Thank you.
In advocating for Liu Xia's freedom, I think it's also important to read her poetry to ourselves, to each other, because poetry exists outside of the sentence of history, the sentence of the law, and the sentence of repressive regimes. It has a way of offering freedom when physical freedom isn't available. I'm going to read her poem called The End. Suddenly you're gone. 2 hours after entering the hospital, you took your last breath. This is the way you long to die. You did it, Mother, leaving us choking on blood. When the call came with the news, we were drinking with friends, and I was reading a poem by Kevin Hart called Praying for the Dead. I saw you for the last time at the funeral home. You seemed tiny in the new clothes, your face caked with makeup. I was afraid you would turn into a doll, one of the dolls possessed by rage in my photographs. I wanted to run out, but Xiaobo took my hand firmly. I couldn't even move. Mother, I know you never liked me. All along, you suspected I had planned everything. Your son imprisoned, his refusal to live with you in Dalian, and even your illness, all my fault. You couldn't stand my laugh. You asked me to leave. The first time I went to your house, it was full of plastic sheets and bags. The sofa, mattress, carpet, heater, the drawers, and even the cutting board and kettle were covered or filled with plastic. I couldn't breathe. You looked lonely in your plastic house, but proud as a queen. Every month during the 3 years when Xiaobo was in that Dalian prison, I had to bite my tongue to enter your territory. Each time, with a sawtooth voice, you said to me, "You don't need to come again. I'm his mother. I will take care of everything." As for the things I brought from Beijing, you didn't bother to take a look. I couldn't make you soft. The ocean of Dalian wore me down. For a year and a half, I couldn't see Xiaobo, so I asked you humbly and cautiously, "Mother, how is Xiaobo doing?" You said he lost weight, so I tried to find nutritious foods. You said his face was terribly swollen, so I sought medical advice from everywhere. You said he was getting too fat, so I told him in a letter not to add sugar when making powdered milk. Under your magic wand, I moved around desperately. You were always right, and I had to tolerate you. I tried to be a well-behaved daughter-in-law. I gave you new clothes, cotton socks, and gold bracelets, but you put them aside, unopened. When I offered to take you out to eat, you said the food was poisoned. There was one thing you didn't reject, the medicine I brought you. You liked taking medicine more than any food in the world. Your pickled veggie pot was full of worms. Mother, so many plastic sheets separated us. Love for the same man split us apart. We couldn't get close to each other when we needed each other's comfort. We became enemies. One day you came back from the prison and talked to yourself. Let Xiaobo die. Done with it. From that moment on, I didn't need to hide my hate. Devil Mother, you are finally gone. Those plastic bags are in the trash. I don't pray for reconciliation, but you appear regularly in the shadows. Xiaobo was startled by you in his dreams. You were moaning helplessly. You've forgotten to take your dentures, which are biting me, making me doubt if this is the right ending. Mother, please do not block the light that illuminates my pen. Let these words survive. Let me finish reading, Praying for the Dead.
Hello everyone, thank you for being here today. I remember hearing of Liu Xiaobo's death last summer and the speed with which Penn swung into action to organize a vigil that very day. I read at that vigil, and it's hard to believe that it's almost a year on, and here we still are. Liu Xiaobo died on the 13th of July. This reading is taking place exactly 40 days before the first anniversary of his death, a sort of reverse ascension. But more significantly, Tomorrow, the 4th of June, is the anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre, the atrocity for which the Chinese government has never apologized, and which marked the beginning of Liu Xiaobo's persecution. I'm going to read 2 poems by Liu Xia, first in Chinese, then in English. 无题，给小波。你说话，你说话，你说实话。你白天说，夜晚说，只要醒着就说。你说呀说，你在封闭的房间里，你的声音冲到外面扩散。20年前的那场死亡重又回来，来了又去，如同时间。你缺少了很多东西，但亡灵们与你同在。你没有了日常生活，加入亡灵们的呼喊，没有回答，没有。你说话，你说话，你说实话。你白天说，夜晚说，只要醒着就说。你说呀说，你在封闭的房间里，你的声音冲到外面而扩散。20年前，那个伤口还在流血，鲜红，鲜红。如同生命，你喜欢很多东西，但更爱与亡灵们为伴。你对他们承诺与他们一起寻找真相。路上没有灯光，没有。你说话，你说话，你说实话。你白天说，夜晚说，只要醒着就说。你说呀说，你在封闭的房间里，你的声音冲到外面扩散。20年前，枪声决定了你的生命，永远活在死亡里。你爱你的妻子，但更骄傲她与你共度的黑暗时间。你让她随心所欲，更坚强，让她死后继续给你写诗。那些诗行没有声音，没有。Untitled for 小波。You speak and speak and speak the truth. You speak day and night as long as you're awake. You speak and speak. Your voice breaks free from the sealed room and disperses. Death from 20 years ago returns. It comes and goes like time. You've lost many things, but the dead spirits are with you. You give up your daily life to join their shouts and cries, but there is no answer, none. You speak and speak and speak the truth. You speak day and night as long as you're awake. You speak and speak. Your voice breaks free from the sealed room and disperses. The wound from 20 years ago still bleeds, bright red, resembling life. You like many things, but prefer to accompany spirits. You promise to seek the truth with them, but there is no light on the path, none. You speak and speak and speak the truth. You speak day and night as long as you're awake. You speak and speak. Your voice breaks free from the sealed room and disperses. The gunfire from 20 years ago still drives your life. You live forever in death. You love your wife and are proud she stays with you through the darkness. You let her do what she wants, right for you even after death. But in her verses there are no sounds, none. This poem was written in 2009, so the reference to death and gunfire 20 years ago is of course to the Tiananmen massacre in 1989. It will be 29 years tomorrow, and nothing has changed. Finally, we're going to hear the title poem from Empty Chairs, Liu Xia's collection. 空椅子，空椅子，空椅子，如此之多的空椅子，在世界各处，梵高画中的空椅子格外诱人。我悄然坐下去，试图摇晃一下双腿，椅子里渗出的气息冻僵了它们。一动也不能动。梵高挥舞着手中的画笔，离开，离开，离开， 今夜没有葬礼。梵高直直避视我的目光，让我垂下眼帘，如一只有待烧烈的陶器，坐在向日葵的烈焰之中。Empty chairs. Empty, empty, empty. So many empty chairs everywhere. They look charming in Van Gogh's paintings. I sit quietly on them and try to rock, but they don't move. They are frozen by what's breathing inside. Van Gogh waves his paintbrush. Leave, leave, leave. There's no funeral tonight. He looks straight at me, and I sit down, and in the flames of his sunflowers, like a piece of clay to be fired. This is in solidarity with Liu Xia and in memory of Liu Xiaobo.
I want to thank the readers again, Nick Flynn, Mona Eltahawy, Nuar Alsadir, and Jeremy Chang. Let's give another round of applause for them. And I also want to echo a few things that some of our readers shared. If you're new to Liu Xia's work, I urge you to continue reading it, to continue sharing it. Reading and sharing this work transcends her detention in a kind of way. But we can also undertake more forceful and vociferous advocacy as well. We're all in a community of literature together, and if you'd like to participate in a more deeply engaged way in advocacy for Liu Xia, I urge you to consider joining PEN. You can find more information at pen.org/membership or visit our booth 1824. You can also sign our petition to the Chinese government calling for the lifting of her continued detention, her right to freedom of movement, access to care, and freedom of expression. You can also learn more by following our social media awareness campaign with Amnesty International. That's #FreeLiuXia. Thank you again for being with us. I hope that you'll get a copy of her book and continue to read and share the work. Thanks.